Every day improves.
It won't.
Not with that fucking attitude.
Next time on Landman.
Embezzle, insurance fraud, wire fraud.
Cammy's name is on everything.
Every time you take a fucking breath, you owe me, Thomas.
Really?
Every time you take a fucking breath, you owe me. That thing I spared you from, I can give it back anytime I want. Yours is a business that needs money to grow. My money is clean.
Fuck you.
In Landman Season 2, Episode 5, Tommy and Cammy are walking straight into Galino's trap, and every crisis that has been slowly building is now crashing down at once. The pirate dinner may look like a simple welcome event for TL, but underneath the surface, every character is sitting on top of a ticking time bomb. And the scariest part is, Galino isn't even hiding his intentions anymore. The Episode 5 trailer finally reveals the moment many of us have been waiting for and dreading. From the very first frame, you can feel something is terribly off. Cammy looks emotionally exhausted, and Tommy looks like he's barely holding everything together. The problems with Mtex, the accusations against Monty, the constant pressure from investors, the toxic gas leak, the injured workers, everything is piling up. And the trailer shows that Tommy has reached the point where one wrong decision could destroy everything he has built. And this is exactly the moment Galino has been waiting for. What makes the trailer so unsettling is how calm and collected Galino looks. He isn't rushing. He isn't forcing anything. He knows that Cammy is vulnerable after everything that happened, and he knows Tommy is stretched thin. It's the perfect time for him to tighten his grip around both of them. But the most shocking detail is how subtly he does it, because Galino doesn't pull Cammy into a deal out of desperation. Instead, he rejects her at first, pretending that he wants a fair conversation with Tommy. This move is what makes him dangerous. He wants Tommy to believe that he still has control, when in reality, Galino has already positioned every piece on the board. The trailer shows a moment where Tommy confronts TL, and for the first time, we see Tommy openly talking about his work despite the tension between them. This is a huge shift in Tommy's character. He's always tried to keep his personal life and his business problems separate, but now the stakes are too high. What TL tells him, or doesn't tell him, may determine everything. And honestly, TL's experience might be the only thing that can keep Tommy from walking blindly into Galino's trap. Because the preview makes it obvious. Galino is no longer just a financial threat. He is now emotionally manipulating the people around Tommy. Cammy's guilt, Cooper's innocence, Tommy's pressure. Galino knows how to use every single weakness. And in Episode 5, the cracks he has created will begin to spread faster than ever. The Mtex meeting shown in the trailer makes everything even worse. The accusations against Monty aren't just damaging, they're devastating. Fraud, mismanagement, lies, all of it threatens to collapse Mtex completely. And when Cammy says they have no other choice but to accept Galino's help, the look on Tommy's face says it all. He knows it's a terrible idea, but he also knows that he's running out of time. Tommy has always been the one who stood strong, the one who refused to give in to dirty deals. But Episode 5 forces him into a corner where every option is dangerous. And to make matters worse, Tommy learns that Galino has also made a deal with Cooper. This is the moment the tension hits its peak. Tommy is furious, not just because Cooper acted without thinking, but because Galino is now connected to every person Tommy cares about. Cooper represents innocence. Cammy represents love. And now Galino has his hands in both. What makes the situation even more stressful is the ongoing threat of the toxic gas leak. The deaths, the injured workers, the accidents happening every day, these aren't just business issues. They're a warning. They show how unstable everything has become. Tommy is trying to balance human lives, financial collapse, and emotional chaos all at the same time. And Episode 5 promises to push him past his limits. And then, just when things couldn't possibly get worse, Angela decides to throw the pirate dinner to welcome TL. On the surface, the dinner looks like a cheerful gathering, but the trailer makes it painfully clear that this is where everything will explode. Every storyline, Galino's plan, Tommy's anger, Cammy's mistake, Cooper's deal, TL's return, the Mtex disaster. All of it will collide at the same table. The pirate dinner isn't just a welcome event in the Episode 5 trailer, disguised as a celebration. Everything and the biggest question is, who will walk out of it still standing? It looks like a fun, harmless gathering. Colorful decorations, warm lighting, people dressed with a carefree spirit. But the moment you look closer, you feel the tension hiding beneath every smile. This dinner isn't a celebration. It is the moment where every secret, every lie, and every hidden agenda will be sitting together at the same table. And the characters themselves seem painfully aware of it. You can see the uneasiness in Tommy's eyes, the guilt in Cammy's expression, and the calculated calmness in Galino's demeanor. Even TL appears unsettled, sensing that something is very wrong, even if he doesn't know the full story yet. And that's what makes this event so dangerous. No one is being fully honest, and every single person is carrying a burden that could explode at any moment. What makes the tension even heavier is knowing that Angela organized the dinner with good intentions. She wants to welcome TL, bring everyone together, and create a moment of unity. But the irony is that she has no idea the entire group is splitting apart from the inside. And the episode 5 trailer hints that Galino plans to use this dinner as an opportunity. As soon as he steps into the room, the atmosphere shifts. He isn't just another guest, he is the storm everyone is trying desperately to avoid. Galino has spent the entire season positioning himself in the shadows, quietly influencing events from a distance. But episode 5 marks the moment he finally walks into Tommy's world, face to face, ready to push his advantage. And the pirate dinner gives him the perfect audience. Every key person is there. Every emotion is heightened. Every weakness is exposed. Galino thrives in this kind of environment because he doesn't need to raise his voice or make threats. All he needs to do is wait for someone to slip. And the trailer suggests that Cammy might be the first. Cammy's emotional struggle is impossible to ignore. She carries the weight of her mistake, her loneliness, and her confusion like a silent storm. In the earlier episodes, she tried to handle things alone, but now the consequences of that choice are catching up with her. The trailer shows moments where she looks lost, almost as if she's still processing how deeply Galino has affected her judgment. And at the pirate dinner, she will be forced to face both men at the same time. Tommy, the person she believes in, and Galino, the person who manipulated her when she was at her weakest. This creates a painful tension that the dinner table cannot hide. Even if she tries to smile, even if she tries to act normal, the weight of her decision sits between her and Tommy like a barrier neither of them can cross yet. But Tommy is dealing with something even bigger. He isn't only fighting to protect Cammy, he's fighting to keep the entire company alive. The accusations against Monty have snowballed into a disaster. Investors are panicking, workers are scared, and the media is circling like sharks. The toxic gas leak has turned into a silent nightmare, with new injuries and warnings emerging every day. And now, the very people Tommy relies on, Cammy and Cooper, have unknowingly tied themselves to Galino. The trailer shows the moment Tommy confronts the reality of Cooper's deal, and the disappointment on his face is heartbreaking. It's not anger at Cooper's innocence. It's fear of what Galino might do with that connection. Because for Tommy, everything is personal. Every mistake hits him twice as hard, every danger feels sharper, and every betrayal cuts deeper. At the pirate dinner, Tommy's expected to act like everything is fine. To smile, to raise a glass, to make conversations. But the pressure building inside him is reaching its limit. And the trailer suggests that TL will be the only person who understands what Tommy is going through. Despite the tension between them, TL steps in as a voice of experience. He doesn't sugarcoat things. He doesn't try to comfort Tommy with empty words. Instead, he offers a reality check, one Tommy desperately needs. Their conversation in the trailer hints that TL is ready to help, but his involvement will not come without consequences. TL has a history with the oil world, and his advice may push Tommy toward decisions he isn't ready to make. The pirate dinner becomes the crossroads for every storyline. If Tommy chooses wrong, he might lose Cammy. If he hesitates, Galino might gain complete control. If he pushes too hard, the entire company might collapse. And the trailer's carefully chosen scenes make one thing clear. This dinner is the calm before an unavoidable storm. Every character is holding a secret. Every character is hiding fear. And every character is walking straight into the most dangerous night of the season. The third layer of the episode 5 trailer takes us directly into Tommy's rising desperation, and it becomes painfully clear that he is standing at the edge of the biggest crisis he has ever faced. Everything around him is crumbling at once. Financial pressure, emotional turmoil, life-threatening accidents, and the slow but deliberate tightening of Galino's influence. And what makes this trailer so intense is how we finally see the moment Tommy realizes that no matter how hard he fights, he cannot control everything anymore. His strength has always been his determination, his willingness to push forward, even in the darkest situations. But this time, the problems are coming at him from every direction, and the weight he carries grows heavier with every second. The accusations against Monty hit him like a blow he wasn't prepared for. The people he trusted are turning into liabilities, and the company he worked so hard to stabilize is now on the verge of slipping out of his hands. But the real danger doesn't come from the paperwork, the scandals, or the financial collapse. It comes from a man who has been silently waiting for Tommy to break, Galino. In earlier episodes, Galino operated like a shadow, quiet, patient, always keeping a safe distance. But the episode 5 trailer shows a completely different version of him. He's confident, strategic, and dangerously calm. He steps forward just enough to be involved, but not enough for Tommy to fully understand his endgame. And that is exactly what makes him terrifying. Galino knows that the more overwhelmed Tommy becomes, the easier it will be to slip into his life as the only solution left. He doesn't force his presence. He doesn't threaten. He simply waits for Tommy to run out of options. And that moment is coming faster than Tommy realizes. The trailer shows brief glimpses of their upcoming confrontation. Tommy standing his ground, refusing to bend, and Galino responding with that unsettling calmness that makes your stomach twist. Tommy thinks he still has power, but the trailer makes it clear. Galino is already several steps ahead. What makes it even more heartbreaking is how Tommy's personal relationships are being weaponized against him without anyone realizing it. Cammy's attempt to handle things alone didn't just place her in danger, it gave Galino exactly what he needed to get close to her emotionally. She didn't seek partnership, she sought comfort, understanding, stability, and Galino used that vulnerability to present himself as a solution, not a threat. Even though he turned her away, the psychological effect of that interaction will linger. Cammy now feels like she made a mistake, not only financially, but emotionally too. And at the worst possible time, this guilt might push her into decisions Tommy cannot undo. The trailer shows her looking lost, confused, and deeply shaken, almost as if she is stuck between two worlds. The trust she has for Tommy and the subtle pull Galino has created. And behind her silence, there's a fear she hasn't admitted yet. The fear that she might have already given Galino too much power without realizing it. Cooper's situation adds an entirely different layer of pressure. His innocence makes him easy to manipulate, and the fact that Galino secured a deal with him without Tommy's knowledge cuts deeply. Tommy loves Cooper like family. He trusts him, and seeing Cooper unknowingly walk right into Galino's influence is a blow Tommy wasn't ready to handle. The trailer shows Tommy's frustration, but it also reveals something even more painful. Tommy blaming himself. He believes he should have guided Cooper better. He believes he should have protected him from people like Galino. But the truth is that Tommy has been fighting too many battles at once, and Galino saw the cracks forming long before Tommy did. Now, Cooper's mistake becomes another doorway for Galino to step into Tommy's world. And what makes it worse is that Cooper has no idea he did anything wrong. To him, it was just a business opportunity. But to Tommy, it is a dangerous thread connecting Galino to every corner of his life. And while all of this is happening in the emotional shadows, the physical danger grows stronger with every passing second. The toxic gas leak isn't slowing down. Workers are collapsing, accidents are increasing, and the fear around the site is spreading like wildfire. Tommy knows that if he can't stabilize the situation immediately, the entire operation could be shut down for good. Lives are at risk, public trust is disappearing, and the company is spiraling out of control. In the trailer, Tommy's expression during these moments is impossible to ignore. For the first time, he looks overwhelmed. Not defeated, but dangerously close to cracking under the pressure. And this is exactly the outcome Galino wants. Tommy's exhaustion isn't a side effect. It's a door. As we move deeper into what the episode 5 trailer reveals, the emotional landscape becomes even more dangerous than the business threats surrounding Tommy. At the center of this emotional storm stands Cammy, who carries a weight that is becoming impossible for her to hide. Her guilt is not loud. It's silent, heavy, and slowly eating away at her confidence. Every glance she gives Tommy feels like she's hiding something. Not because she wants to, but because she's terrified of how much her mistake has already cost them. What makes Cammy's situation even more heartbreaking is the way she tries to keep herself composed. She smiles when she needs to, nods when people expect her to, but inwardly, she knows she walked directly into Galino's trap. And the trailer's brief shots of her expression reveal exactly that: regret, confusion, and fear of what happens next. Cammy's emotional unraveling becomes a subtle, invisible fracture between her and Tommy. Even though Tommy doesn't yet know the full truth, he can sense that something is wrong. He feels the distance. He feels the hesitation. He feels the tension that wasn't there before. Tommy has always trusted Cammy completely, and now he is forced to confront the possibility that he wasn't able to protect her in a moment when she needed him the most. This realization hits him harder than any business crisis ever could, because in Tommy's world, Cammy isn't just a partner. She's the one person he believes in, the one person he fights for, the one person he cannot lose. And Galino knows this. He knows exactly how to use their emotional connection against them. That's why he approached Cammy gently, pretending to care, pretending to understand her pain. Not because he needed her, because he needed to destabilize Tommy. And nothing destabilizes Tommy more than seeing Cammy suffer. At the same time, the trailer hints at TL delivering one of the most important warnings of the season. TL may have been distant, conflicted, and cautious in earlier episodes, but episode 5 shifts his role completely. He becomes the voice Tommy desperately needs, the voice of harsh truth. TL has lived long enough in this brutal industry to recognize the signs of manipulation, pressure, and hidden agendas. And TL sees Galino's moves long before Tommy does. In the trailer, TL's calm yet serious tone signals something powerful. He knows the danger ahead, and he knows Tommy is walking straight toward a man who is far more calculated than he seems. TL isn't there to comfort Tommy. He's there to prepare him for a war he didn't realize he was already fighting. Their relationship, which has been strained for so long, finally begins to shift in episode 5. TL doesn't try to be a father figure. He tries to be a guide. And Tommy, despite his anger and frustration, listens. Because deep down, he knows TL is right. He may not like the truth, but he needs it. And TL's presence becomes the one solid ground Tommy can hold on to while everything else falls apart. But TL's guidance comes with a price. His honesty forces Tommy to confront the uncomfortable reality that he can't save everyone. Not Cammy, not Cooper, not the company, not even himself. And this realization is exactly what brings Tommy to the edge of his breaking point. Cooper's involvement only adds more pressure to the situation. Cooper, who has always been the most innocent and hopeful part of Tommy's world, becomes another casualty of Galino's quiet manipulation. He didn't sign his deal out of greed. He signed it out of trust. And seeing Cooper unknowingly tied to the man who is slowly destroying his life shakes Tommy in a way he didn't expect. The innocence that Cooper represents is now in danger, and that terrifies Tommy more than anything else. The trailer shows Tommy's frustration boiling beneath the surface. He wants to protect Cooper, but he doesn't know how when the damage is already done. And the worst part? Cooper has no idea he is walking around with a target on his back. Meanwhile, the danger at the Mtex site continues to escalate, becoming a threat that can no longer be ignored. Workers injured, lives lost, the possibility of a shutdown looming over them like a dark cloud. Tommy knows that any mistake he makes now won't just cost money, it could cost lives. And the trailer makes it clear that the consequences of the toxic gas leak are far from over. Every day brings a new emergency. Every hour brings a new risk. And Tommy is forced to face the terrifying reality that he might not be able to solve this crisis before it spirals even further out of control.